What is up, everyone? Welcome to the channel. So today we will be talking about Oxfordshire's Strongest Man, which I won this year, which I'm absolutely buzzing about. So it's been for 3 years now. Oxfordshire's has been on. Fortunately, I couldn't do the first one. The second one, I came fifth overall in that one. It was such a cool comp. It had a dumbbell medley, there was a car flip, some keg loading, all round amazing competition. And then obviously this year's for the third year, again, some insane events for this year. And what I'm going to do in this video is just go through each event, how I got on, just go a bit more in depth about it, stuff like that. Just give you guys an idea of sort of everything that went down on the day. So Oxfordshires was back at the beginning of March. I say beginning of March, or second week of March. My prep into Oxfordshires this time round has been spot on. It's been so good. We're really fortunate with this prep and with the last one as well. We've worked very closely with Paddy, who does all my coaching for me. But this year, sort of a massive sort of game changer, I guess, this year was Will came on board from LSF and did all my nutrition, which is something I've been okay with, I guess. But you don't realize until you get given a plan, sort of how off that you really are. So having that in place from I think it was January. So for the entire sort of prep into Oxfordshires was, like I say, it was a complete game changer. So all the nutrition was spot on, training was spot on as well. Obviously, anybody that's been through a prep for a competition, we all know there's the odd setback here and there. You might have a bad week, you might pick up a little niggle here or there, a little injury, and you have to take a week off or something. Safe to say, there was a couple of those. We still soldiered on through, and we got there. So we're going to now go just a little bit more depth into the actual competition itself and all the events. So the first event of the day was the max overhead, sort of behind the neck press. Again, the prep for this was very, very good. To be fair, on the first week, I loaded, I think Paddy gave me probably sort of 70, 80 kilos. Nothing mad. Loaded on the bar. Obviously, we get it on our back, get ready to go. And I can remember doing one rep, putting it down, walking back in the gym again. No, thank you. Don't want to do this. Glad we didn't give up and we stuck with it. So the behind it actually became my favorite event of probably the whole competition. The progress on that lift was insane. Like I said, that first week was about 80 kilos. At competition, I actually finished first on the behind the net press, which is great because my pressing is not great. So to win that event was huge. We won that with 150 kilos, so that was the top lift of that. Sam Grover, who came in second, I believe did 147 on that one, and then behind that was Gareth Rice. I think it was 145. So it was pretty close. It's pretty close. I've been luckily in training. We knew more was in the tank essentially if we had to do it on the day. Training, I'd done 160, very, very close to a 162. So we knew we had sort of room to play. So if it was going that little bit higher, we could pull that out of the bag essentially. Kept it safe, saved some energy on that event, did the 150, nice and easy, event win. So it was a really good start to the competition. So which led nicely after that one into the deadlift ladder. So the deadlift ladder was it was actually sponsored this year by Spartan Atlas Stones, which maybe a few guys are familiar with. Honestly, it's an awesome setup. You might have seen from Paddy's video on Oxfordshires. So it was a ladder, different bars. So we had 4 bars in total. So we had a 250 kilo just on plates, and that was on a power bar or a stiff bar. We then moved on to 270, which again, I believe, from memory, was a power bar or a stiff bar again. But this one had the 2 stones on it, so it just looks amazing. The third bar was 290. That was on the deadlift bar. Again, stones. And the very last bar was on the day actually turned out to be 318 because we were using a Kratos bar. So obviously they're a little bit heavier than your standard deadlift bar. Deadlifts pretty good for me, so I know I had a really good chance with this one. 100% coming in the top three. Again, training for deadlifts just felt amazing. So we'd gone through, we'd pulled 320 for a PB during the prep, and then went and pulled 330 probably about 3 weeks beforehand or something like that. Everything just felt on point during the session, so we were just like, why not, kind of thing. So we knew it was in the tank, which was great. So obviously, I won that event as well. So it was the first place for me as well. I was the only person to do the 4 bars, um, which was amazing. So that was a great feeling. If you watch the videos, probably a little bit excited when we did those. And then in second place on that one was Sam, I believe. Actually, it might have been Toby saying that. I'm going to have a quick look now. Let's have a quick peek, shall we? No, it was Sam. It was Sam. So I was right first. So Sam did it the 3 bars. And then Toby did the 3 bars as well. Again, Toby, watching Toby do it was insane. The guy was so quick. Obviously, I was suited up along with Sam. I think Gareth was as well. Toby's strap up speed on this deadlift was just bonkers. It was just in on, and it was lifted. It was so fast. So he did those first 3 bars so quickly. So that was really impressive to watch. Like I said, Sam again so quickly went for the 4th bar. Again, wasn't quite there. I believe he got it off the floor. He had about, I think he did. He stuck at it. It was about 2 or 3 attempts on that bar, so fair play. But that last bar was heavy. It was very heavy. But again, that was an event win for me. So again, really happy with the result there. So I think at that point I was about 4 points ahead. So yeah, really happy. Which led, we had a little break. We went to the third event. So the third event was a truck pull. So the testing for this was quite good fun. We had to change a few things around, or Paddy had to change a few things around. So we ended up with sort of a large sprinter, which had a trailer and then a pickup on it. So I think it worked out around 7 ton or something like that to pull. The area we were doing it was also on a very slight incline, which made it a little even more harder than it already was. But that event was sort of nobody been able to train for it, I guess. So it was one of those, like, it could have gone anyone, anyway. Anybody could have had that. Again, first place for myself again, which I wasn't expecting. I'll be completely honest, I didn't expect that. So I was absolutely buzzing with the truck pull. I think it was 4.3 meters I did in total, which really pleased with. And then I'm trying to remember. Let's have a quick look, shall we? So second was actually Jamie. Jamie was really close second with 4.2 meters. And then in third place on that event, it was a joint third, was Sam and Gareth. Both of the guys did 4.15 meters. It was heavy. It was incredibly heavy trying to get that thing going. It was just that initial meter, probably a meter and a half, was difficult. Once we got past that sort of first meter, it started to roll a little bit. Like, you could get some movement there. It might flatten off a little bit. It did feel just a little bit easier. It was still damn hard, but it was a little bit easier. But that was an incredible event. I was really impressed with Jamie on that event, actually. So Jamie actually took Oxfordshires on it was last minute. I think it was only like maybe 3 weeks or something. And he sort of jumped in on that one. He was incredible on the truck pull. He was so good. Really strong guy. So well done, Jamie. Really impressed with you there, mate. It was top. Absolutely brilliant. So after truck pull, we went straight into yoke. So the women's yoke was actually run alongside the men's truck pull. So it's just a straight swap over. So we went straight into a yoke. The yoke run was 10 meters. And so it was a Trump style yoke. So you had the smaller, lighter yoke, or lighter yoke, not smaller, which was 320 kilos. And then there was the heavier yoke, which was 400 kilos. Um, and like I say, so it had to be, so if you chose the 400, you had to do the course basically. So you had to do a full run of the 10 meters. If you manage, say, 2 or 3 meters on that, but then somebody on the 320 finished the course, they would get sort of more points than you. I think I've got that right. If I haven't, I'm sure somebody will put a comment or something like that to tell me I'm an idiot and I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure that's how it was. So at that point, I was a few points ahead. Um, so I'll be honest, yoke isn't a good event. It's not a great event for me. So the training of yoke was very up and down. Um, I actually picked up a bit of an injury about maybe 4 weeks away from the comp. So I did a three. It was a 360 or a 380. I can't remember. And I just pinged something in sort of like my lower back and my hip. Couldn't really move for a couple of days. Couldn't bend over. Like sitting was uncomfortable, laying, standing, everything. So I was just constantly on the move. I was like sat down for 20 minutes. I'd have to stand up for 10 minutes. Then I'd have to go and have a lay down and then sit down again. And it was awful. Luckily, I went and saw John Williamson. Uh, he sorted me right out. So the next day, straight in there. Again, it was painful again for a couple of days, but it sorted itself out, which is, I was very, very lucky and got in there quickly. Um, it was, yeah, it just wasn't nice. So obviously, because we had the point lead at that point, which was, I believe, if I have a look, it's about 6 points. No, not 6 points. Sorry, 4 points, 4.5. I actually played it safe with the yoke, and I knew 320 would be fine. The 400, I didn't know. So that one we did 320, did the 10 meters. I think I was third fastest in total on that one. Um, Sam actually won that event. Sam did the 400. Honestly, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Um, he virtually sprinted with it. Picked it up, started gradually going. By the end of it, the guy was sprinting with it. It was mad. So big, big heads up to Sam there. It was amazing work. Craig came second in that one, and then I came third. Um, I know it was a talking point on Paddy's video. Toby actually went for the 400 on that one as well, and I was absolutely gutted for Toby. He completed the course, but he literally was like a second or 2 seconds out. Um, so yeah, I was gutted for it. I genuinely thought it was so impressive watching him do it. He was so quick. It just wasn't quick enough, unfortunately. But again, big heads up there to Toby. Amazing, amazing yoke run. Um, yeah, so by the end of that one, like I said, we were still a few points ahead. So we went into the Hercules after that. And that was run alongside the women's shield. So the women's did shield, men's did Hercules. Um, Hercules, I didn't expect much. I won't lie. My grip's not fantastic. It actually went better than I thought it would. So that's a win. So on that particular event, if I have a quick look, because I can't remember because I've got a brain like a sieve, it was Gareth actually came first on that event. Gareth did 68 seconds on that. So really, really good over a minute. So yeah, Gareth was first. Jamie came in second on that event. He did 57 seconds. And then third place, I believe, was Toby's brother Will. Will came third. Will did 53 seconds. So those guys, impressive. Really, really impressive. I did 50.8, I believe, was my final number, which brought me in at fifth. Again, I was expecting lower on Hercules. Just like I said before, my grip isn't fantastic. But yeah, getting a fifth on that, I was really, really pleased by it. It was a huge PB for me on the day. Sometimes it's all we can ask for on the day is just to come away with some really good numbers. So, fifth place, new PB, absolute win. And then once we finished that, it was immediately straight into the shield. So the shield was 150 kilo shield. And it was set up very, very similar to the Husafell stone, for people that are familiar with that. So we did it was in a circle. So you just went round, and obviously, as far as you can in the allotted time. Um, this was a big surprise. Shield has been okay in training. It's been all right. We did it the week before, and it was awful. It was horrendous. Um, so it was in the back of my mind all day. It was just like, okay, this is probably not going to be the event for me. Um, and somehow everything came together, and I actually won the Shield event, which I couldn't quite believe at all. Again, I was expecting mid pack on that one, if I'm completely honest. So to be able to come away from what I think was probably my second weakest event of the entire competition, was a huge PB, massive PB. So like I say, I was first with that one. It was 49.5 meters. Um, so absolutely buzzing, absolutely buzzing. Like I say, training, we did the shield empty, which was 120, and then we'd done a few runs with it at the 150, which didn't feel amazing. Um, so yeah, like I said before, it was very much this is going to go either way kind of situation. Second place on the shield was Sam. Sam got 46.7, so he was only a couple of meters behind. And then in third place was Gareth. Gareth again. Gareth got 41.1 meters. So that was actually the podium as well. So it was, like I said, myself in first, Sam in second, and Gareth in third, winning 4 out of the 6 events, which was still blows my mind, and had a 5.5 point lead by the end of it, which was just madness, absolute madness. So yeah, that comp meant a lot. The a huge thing. Sort of from last year, coming from fifth to winning it this year, massive, massive. Sort of, I guess like a bit of an underdog story. But again, it wouldn't be there without the coaching, the nutrition, everything like that. So everything came together on the day, and it just worked. Look, we put 100% into everything during the prep, and we put 110% into everything on that day. So to be able to come away with the first place is massive. And again, so thankful to everyone that was involved. Massive shout out to all of the guys who competed that day. Sam, there was Jamie, Toby, Will, Gareth, Craig, Steve, and Greg, as well. Honestly, all of you guys did fantastic. It was such a good competition. Everyone put 100% in. It just made for a great event for everybody. As a spectator, it must have been sort of amazing to watch. Us idiots try and pull trucks and run around with shields and pick up stones. But hey, it's what we love. It's what we love. So yeah, that about wraps up the video. Really, appreciate you guys tuning in, watching. If you've got any suggestions, or if you've got any questions, pop anything in the comments. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. It'd be amazing. It does help me out. Again, if there's anything you guys want to see in the future, just drop us a comment. Just let us know. We'll see what we can get put in place. But again, massive thank you for watching, putting up with me blabbling on for probably about 15 minutes now. Yeah, appreciate every single one of you, and we'll see you guys later.